Uh, Known mostly for playing The Sims 4, my guest tonight on the show is a fun and a chill person. She's wonderful in all ways and one of the nicest people I've come across on Twitch. Whether she's causing fun chaos in The Sims, running amok in Fall Guys with friends, or just going from legacy to legacy in, of course, The Sims, Glam has never a dull moment. TragicGlamourxo, or we call her Glam. Welcome to tonight's episode of Twitch Tea Time.
Thank you for having me. I just say welcome. It's fine.
It's fine. In this space, we're going to talk about everything from gaming to her Twitch channel to social media life, 2023, plans for 2024, as well as some mental health topics and more. So just sit back, relax, grab a drink, and enjoy. In the first segment, it's called The Road to Twitch and Gaming. I'm going to ask you, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just woke up and I'm like overexcited. Yeah. So I would like to know where the name TragicGlamourxo came from.
Okay. Well, the XO was just something I added because I wasn't able to get... I don't know if I got a Twitch account a long time ago and then didn't know how to get into the account or not, but I wasn't able to get just Tragic Glamour. So everything else is just Tragic Glamour. But as my mod Disco says, I save the hugs and kisses for Twitch.
Yeah.
But the name Tragic Glamour actually is from MySpace. It was my MySpace name back in the day.
Oh.
One of my friends, I was trying to come up with some cool name to have on MySpace because everyone had something Vanity or something Hilton or something whatever, and I was like, I want a cool name, and my friend said it, we were brainstorming, and my friend said it one time, and I was like, oh my god, that's the one, and it's just stuck with me ever since. And even when I was in college, I realized my artistic style is very much putting things that might not seem like they go together, and everything has to have a little bit of tragedy and a little bit of glamour. So it's stuck.
Well, funny thing, my friend was just he chose the name Vanity. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. So I was like, that's ironic. Yeah. So can you tell us about how you discovered Twitch, how you decided to become a streamer, and how you took off?
Yeah. I started watching Twitch from Call Me Kevin in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. And I originally found Call Me Kevin through RT Game and found them on YouTube. And then he started doing collabs with Kevin, and I was like, oh, this is he's so my personality. He's so playful and chaotic and fun.
Same.
And I was like, this is so great. I love him. And then they did collabs with the other Irish lads, so that was what got me on Twitch. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I play The Sims all the time, and it's always so chaotic. And I was looking for a new way to a new creative outlet, because I'd been doing photography for years before the pandemic.
Oh.
And then during the pandemic, I couldn't do that. So I couldn't really work with people. So I was like, well, what's something that I could do from home? And I was so nervous to do it. I was I almost prepped myself the whole first week of streaming, even though I was pretty much just talking to myself.
Yeah.
But it was because it's really putting yourself out there and being yourself, and there's nowhere to hide. There's no editing. There's nothing that you can do other than just embrace who you are as a person.
It's one take. You can't edit this part out. You can't go back. Oh my god, I said this. No, I can't say that. Yeah.
Right. And you just have to be comfortable. It really forces you to become more comfortable with yourself. And And yeah, that was and it took it took a while to build because I had no audience there. Like I went from having a pretty large audience on like TikTok and Instagram, but it was mostly for my photography and my drag because I also do drag.
Yep.
So it was mostly for that stuff, and it doesn't really translate to come over to Twitch. Twitch is building a whole new audience from scratch, and so it's been a crazy road for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Call Me Kevin got me into it.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's kind of like the same story I have because I created my Twitch account just to watch Call Me Kevin. I had no one there in
Yeah.
2020. I was like, oh my god, Call Me Kevin is my first ever sub back in the day. Like, yeah, I'm like, he's like my Twitch idol. He's like everything I aspire to be. And most of the games I know now, from like, of course, the very funny names like Toilet Chronicles, a game I recently played. No, seriously, it's like a horror comedy game. It's not.
Oh my god.
It's not a shitty game. No, but like,
It's funny because
yeah,
like I remember being in those streams and hearing him like call out a name Lucifer sometimes, and so when you were coming into my chat, I was like, is this the same person?
yeah. I like sleep to him. Like I put him in the background and I sleep. Like he's like a familiar voice to me right now. So I discovered like Don't Starve Together, which became my favorite game ever because of him. Most of the indie games I play, like the Exit 8 and those, are because of him. And I started doing The Sims even more. Like even before I came across Kevin, I knew Deligracy and James Turner, who are like Sims ambassadors, which is where I like started to focus more on The Sims in 2018. So yeah. So speaking about drag, we don't see that much females doing drag. How does that like is a special thing to you? Like I love the idea and I'm there for it, and you always like become glamorous in drag. Can you tell us about like the idea, like how you decided to make this a thing in your channel?
I started doing drag in 2018, and I got into it because I had other friends that were doing it, but because I didn't think that I could. And then one of my close friends is also cis female and does it. Well, they're non-binary, but they were born, and there's actually quite a lot of cis female people that do drag. It's just not really something that's highlighted on the television shows. Although we did just have a cis female winner of Drag Race Germany, Pandora Knox. They won, and they're fantastic. But there's not a lot of representation for it, but there are actually a lot of people that do it. And I think most cis females are known for doing king drag, dressing as men.
Yeah.
But for me, it was always, I want to embrace my hyper femininity because there's so much that even as a female, when you're told to be feminine, if you are ultra feminine, you are also ostracized and attacked for that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, now you're being slutty, or now you're asking for it, or now you're like, you're being too extra, too much. That's like, why do you have to wear so much makeup? Why do you have to, wear clothes like that? It's like, just let me be myself and embrace what I enjoy,
Exactly. Yeah.
And drag is an outlet for you to explore gender expression as well as just personal expression in general. And it is open to all people,
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that do drag and they're like creatures, they're not even human. So it's really such an open medium, and it's something that it really helped me become more comfortable with myself in times where I did not feel comfortable with myself.
Yeah. Do you remember what was the first game you ever streamed or you ever played off stream before, like pre-Twitch?
First game I ever played, like in general.
Or in general, or on Twitch, if it's not The Sims, of course.
Well, the first game I played on Twitch was The Sims.
Yeah.
But other than that, I also started doing like Y2K game nights where I would play 90s games, whatever ones I could get to work, because it's like they're all on CDs, and so it's really hard to get them
Most
to
of them
work.
is in abandonware as well, so
Yeah. And so I would play like a lot of the games I grew up playing, mostly like Barbie games and stuff like that, or like Girl Talk, and just for like fun nostalgia. And usually they're really like janky and fun to make fun of. So
yeah,
it's good. It's good comedy.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What are the limits regarding your streams? Like, what would piss you off? What's the big no-no? What's allowed? What's not?
As far as what, really? Like chat or
Chat, yeah.
chat? I try to keep my streams a positive environment, and the only I'm while I know that there's a lot of people that have a hard time in social interactions, you know, it's good when people can read the room. So, you know, coming in and trauma dumping isn't good. There's been times where I've held like healing tarot reading nights where it is welcomed to talk about what you're going through, because that's the whole vibe of the stream. So I don't mind if people, you know, talk about stuff then, but, you know, I have to open up space for that.
Yeah.
And so when people come in and they just want to like dump, or like they just come in and start asking weird questions out of nowhere when they've never talked before and they're just trying to troll.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have, I think the only thing that other than that would be like a no-no for me is people just being too invasive of my personal life, which can easily happen with the internet because people, you know, like we become like internet friends. But, you know, if they're trying to be like, no, don't do that, or like trying to like control how I live my life, that would be weird.
Yeah.
That would be strange.
Yeah. So since you spoke about tarot readings, can you tell us a little bit more about like what tarot is for the people who don't know?
Yeah, it's a divination tool, but it's like usually tarot are cards. They have specific meanings. And originally it was actually created as a game, and then it became something that was used as like a fortune-telling device. However, in my experience, it doesn't really predict anything with the future. It just kind of helps you to see what's going on at the moment, you know, like going on right now. So when I do readings, it's just, you know, what's the energy of what's going on right now. And because then really you have the choice always of how you want your life to go. And if you are aware of how like if it kind of gives you a, like, this is the energy of what's going on right now, and you have the choice on what to do with that.
Yeah.
So I would use that as a tool to just to help people, and it's something that's helped me a lot over the years. I certainly didn't grow up doing it. It was something that I learned as I grew up.
Yeah, you developed over time.
Yeah.
So since back to The Sims now, since you do like Sims games, you do Sims Legacies. Sometimes you also do either challenges or just like cause chaos, which is fun to watch. Can you tell us a little bit more about the legacies?
Yeah, I have 2 legacies going on right now. One is the Messy Legacy, which is my After 100 Baby Challenge legacy. That actually is the one that is the continuation of the longest running part of my channel, because the first couple generations of that was the original family I started with on the channel before I really had anybody watching. So that was the Karen family, which was based off of the idea of a Karen, God. You know, somebody, And she actually died of laughter.
Oh no.
Which was so funny
Oh
because she like there's a whole lore with it. Like, she was married to this guy who was a politician. She was just like a bored housewife. And she was like in, the different clubs with like Clara Bjorgensen and like the other Sim Townies. And then we made it so that the politician husband was cheating on her with Clara. And she didn't want to say anything, so she gets pregnant again by him to like trap him to stay with her.
Oh my god.
And then after she gives birth, she dies.
Oh no.
And so then what I ended up doing was I was like, well, we're gonna Brady Bunch the situation and have the dad move him and the kids in with Clara.
Oh my god.
And then that was kind of the beginning of that whole series. So I then took that to, as the generations went on, we decided to do the 100 Baby Challenge, which is a popular challenge in the Sims community where you try to have 100 babies from all different people. Yeah. We ended up having 2 matriarchs for it and 131 kids over 2 people. And so now what I'm doing with it is I was like, well, I feel like after that many that kind of family dynamic where you had your mom and your grandma have so many kids and all with different people, that you'd have a pretty messed up idea of what love was. So each generation is having messed up love lives until eventually one of them breaks the curse. Yeah. The first gen, she hooked up with all of her roommates. We decided to name her Karen, but with a Y. So she, as like kind of a homage to the original Karen. She hooked up with all her roommates at one, like in like a woohoo party. And then she got pregnant and didn't know who the baby daddy was. So she had to go on Maury, the TV show, and get a paternity test. And then he didn't want to be involved in it. And so she ended up getting with somebody else. And then, so we're just continuing that with messed up love lives for each one. And then my other legacy is the alphabet legacy, which is created by my friend Thick Like Cheesecake, who where each generation has like a AA name or BB name or whatever. And then their job has to correlate with the letter that you're on. So like right now we're on G. We're on G. Okay. So she's and we made her a gemologist because they just had the crystal pack come out. So she makes like jewelry and stuff.
Jewelry with a G.
But yeah. Well, she's a gemologist.
Yeah.
But I also have chaos wheels on my channel. So there's like a happy wheel and a chaos wheel. And when people get to spin the wheel from channel points, they get to choose which one. And the chaos is substantial. For instance, in last night's stream, we already have 3 babies, but now we have to try for a baby with a necklace on that is a fertility necklace that they just added to the game with the gemology stuff. So we might end up having triplets if that's the case. Twins or triplets. And then, there's just, we just recently opened a deadly restaurant a la Jim Pickens. Oh my God. It's an Olive Garden that only serves breadsticks and puffer fish nigiri that could possibly kill people. Yeah. So there's a lot of, and the chaos wheel is open for both of the legacies. So really like anything could happen. Some of the stuff on the chaos wheel right now is insane. Like one of them is prison honey, where they would have to go live a sim week in a prison, and it's just like a rental property that they would live at, but they would have to live in a prison for a week. In the alphabet legacy, the generation we just did, they were mole people living in the walls of an apartment building. Oh my God. So I put in actually I put in the Call Me Kevin mole people to be in the mole group just to hang out sometimes. just so I could have Moltu call me sometimes.
Okay, is Moltu available to play or to talk?
Exactly. They ended up having a daughter named Molina.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we did that. That was fun. I just like to make it fun, you know? And if I ever get bored, then I'll be like, hey, let's do a chaos battle tonight, which is kind of like, the chaos battles are kind of like celebrity deathmatch, where you get a bunch of celebrities together and then they fight each other to the death.
I do remember this at some point, where this is where I joined the channel. This is what I remember, like
Really?
Ellen DeGeneres like murdering people. I do remember that.
Yeah. That one's really fun because we picked like a theme. That was probably the TV host one, where we did like night and day TV hosts fighting against each other. And
I do remember Miley Cyrus being there, I think, and Nicki Minaj at some point.
Yeah, that was the pop star one. I don't know if have we had Nicki Minaj?
I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
remember. All I saw was like Ellen with a knife.
Yeah. Well, she ended up dying, so it's fine.
Yay.
Although sometimes we have winners that we do not want to win, so it happens.
Oh yeah.
We'll be like, no, not you.
Yeah. Also, at some point, what I used to do in The Sims is like I go in like before Twitch, when I like started playing on my laptop, I went and just destroyed lives. So I did figure out that there was like a new family that came in to be in The Sims. I did not create them; they just happened to exist as in The Sims. So one of them was married to another woman. I forgot the name. She's not like some Max Sim or something. So I went and played this household and I destroyed it all. I made him cheat on his wife. I made him like have several babies with his wife, but he's sleeping with another woman. Yeah,
totally.
So
that's what I love about The Sims. The Sims is like infinite content. It really is just a matter of your own creativity. So like I do like playing other games and I plan to do more variety in the future. But The Sims there's just so much you can do with it, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. So what do you expect from The Sims 5 once it comes out?
I expect everyone to be angry because they're always angry.
Yeah.
Every time something comes out, people are mad. So even with like the latest pack that's like the crystal pack, people were like, why isn't it fairies? Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Oh my god.
I think it would be really cool to have the ability to have an online playable feature with other people.
It will be.
However,
it will be. They said it will be multiplayer. Yeah.
But like, also, how are they going to moderate that? And that is the part that
I don't know.
Is it going to become like Second Life? Like what?
I don't think
so. I don't know. I do think that would be really cool though, because a lot of people I think would have fun with that, and I just want to troll everyone. So
yeah. I don't think it's gonna be like a thing where like random people can join. I think it's gonna be like more of a friend session only. So
okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do like GTA RP or different RP servers just to troll people.
Oh yeah.
But I am not really the type of person to want to get into it and be like, I have a whole career on this server. No, I just want to like go in there and be like messing with people.
Oh, you can do that. I've done that in 17 servers. I've just stayed like a regular in like 3 servers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a whole YouTube channel based on the first ever server. So one time I went there as a African American character. Her name was Dandelion Lionheart, and she was like a retired criminal. So the thing is, I hated my voice back then, and I still do. But like, she fell off the Ferris wheel, and she just like was taken to the hospital. When she woke up with an auto-tune voice. So, so yeah, every time they ask me, why is your voice like that? I'm like, I think I was dancing for Shakira and then I swallowed the autotune box. And then one time there was someone in like a go-kart or like a golf wheel, and that I randomly met. So I went into his car. He was talking to someone and he started honking. I'm like, please, can you honk again? Then he honks. I'm like, oh, can you do that again? That's how I troll people. Like, it was so funny in autotune.
Yeah.
People started like being themselves laughing.
Yeah.
So there's also
I think
this-
it's I think it's
yeah.
I think it's so fun to get to troll people, but like
Yeah.
doing it in a way that's not like like mean, you know,
Yeah.
like just doing it in a more like
Yeah.
whole way
Yeah.
where
There's-
they get to like have fun with it too.
There's also another time where I made a character called Nanya Business. So every time someone asks me what's your name, I'm like, Nanya Business. They're like, okay, don't be rude. I'm like, no, my actual name is Nanya and my last name is Business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So so how many hours per day or week do you spend on Twitch?
In just streaming or just in general?
In general.
Well, it depends on the week because sometimes, like, I usually stream for 6 to 8 hours, and I stream 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's anywhere from 18 plus hours. But I do check out like my friends' streams, and I try to be active in them. It just sometimes, depending on my mental health that week, I'll be on it more or less. So I'm probably like 20 hours a week.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah. So to the new people out there who are just starting to stream, who are thinking about it, what's one advice you'd give them?
Go to streams of people who are doing things that you want to do and make friends. Because networking and building a community is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I started with knowing nobody. And I was streaming to myself for like probably almost I guess it wasn't that long, but like for at least a few months before I had people really find me and start to come and hang out. And it took a while to build, and it's still like I'm still building, but if you start off with friends already on Twitch, then they'll show up for you.
Yeah.
And they'll support you. And if they're not supportive, then maybe they're not your friend. But I mean, I have a lot of people in my community that are just starting to stream, and I try to show up for them when I can. You know, I think it's a lovely way to support each other, and anybody that wants to do this should be able to do this. You know, it's open to everyone.
Yeah. You know, you got my supports.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
You also work with crystals. Can you tell us a little bit about this passion/hobby of yours?
It's more so I'm just like a little troll that loves to collect crystals. They're just very beautiful.
Ooh,
I'm
pretty crystal, mine.
so pretty. They are though, but I do like use them a little bit, but I just believe that everything carries energy. And if you have a certain intention for it, you know, like say rose quartz is the stone of love and self-love, and I want to work on my self-love, and I hold that, then I'm amplifying that intention, you know? So it's really all about the intention that you have and the energy you're putting into it. But since I believe, you know, it's a rock that was formed beautifully in the earth, that was taken out of the earth and looks gorgeous, and the fact that the earth even made something like that is incredible. Like, you know, it helps me feel more connected to nature and stuff. So it's both it looks beautiful while it's displayed, and also carries some meaning to it.
Yeah. You also have like a merch store or /website. Can you tell us a little bit what we can find on there?
I have, yeah, I actually have, well, I have an Etsy and a merch store. My Etsy is like stuff that I've actually handmade, or I do sell crystals on there too. So I have like everything from jewelry I've made to like healing stuff, because I have like
Yeah.
affirmation cards and pendulums, and I have decorative stuff like sun catchers and resin pieces that I've made, and accessories and stuff. But then I have a merch shop as well that's like basically designs that either I or other people have created for me, of my well, right now currently it's just mostly my drag merch, so it's like images of me in drag or like illustrations. But I'm going to expand it in this coming year to have more designs that I'm creating that are like Y2K inspired
Oh yeah.
designs. So it wouldn't necessarily just be like me. It will be like cool shirts and stuff like that to wear.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, will you ever like do like actual clothing merch or something?
Yeah, yeah. Because I actually used to do that originally back in the day. I've been on doing like entrepreneurial stuff since I was 15 years old.
Oh wow.
I originally had a clothing line called TragicGlamourxo that I had. Sita was like the JLo version of my name.
Yeah.
And I would, and I started with like printed T-shirts. For some reason, I always come back to doing that. And then eventually I started sewing clothing and making clothing. And then I realized through that process that what I enjoyed the most was doing the photo shoots of it at the end with like the whole vision. So I started focusing on doing photography, and I did that for years. I was big in the like tattoo industry, where I photographed for a lot of tattoo magazines and indie magazines.
Oh wow.
And then as time went on, around like 2017, I was kind of getting like, I'm not really feeling the spark anymore. And the tattoo industry was kind of, as far as like the modeling tattoo industry was kind of faltering around that time.
Yeah.
Because Inked Magazine bought out a bunch of magazines and made it really hard to get into the different magazines. So like I wanted to get into the fashion industry, which is really hard to get into because you have to know people. And so I started to lose some passion there. And so currently, like on my path, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a way to take all of the things that I have been doing over the years, like making clothes, doing photography, making content online, etc., and just finding ways to do all of that and have and create some path with that, because I like making clothes, but I didn't usually make them for myself. I made them for like models or specific people. So now I'm kind of shifting the focus, like, well, how about I be my model and I be the forefront of this, and I see I create cool outfits for myself.
Yeah.
And not just for drag, but for out of drag too. Because for a while I was doing that, but just for drag. So I'm like, well, as I learn to love myself more and more as the person I am and not just in drag, I want to embrace all sides of me.
Yeah.
So and that's why I started doing a styling series showing that you could look good at every size, and you could wear whatever clothes you want at every size, and started doing more self-portraits again.
Yeah.
And my plan for the rest of this year is to just focus on every week, picking a project that I want to do, even whether it's like doing crazy makeup looks, or doing a really cool self-portrait photo shoot, or making an outfit, or making a YouTube series, because I have a lot of YouTube series that I want to make, or whatever the project is. Just focusing on like 1 week at a time, and just making stuff and being creative and putting it out there. And I really believe that that's gonna take off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
well, if it doesn't, I guess we'll see what happens. But I really believe that it will.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the more true to myself that I can be and just creating and being myself, then that's the road to success.
Yep. 100%.
You know.
We're gonna move into segment number 2, which is kind of like a lightning round slash a pop quiz.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just ask you a few questions, and you don't have to just answer like very fast. You can think about the questions, and then you can answer. It's okay. So,
Okay.
do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine? Like something you always like to do has become regular to you?
Journaling. I like to journal every day now.
Nice. Nice.
Just like writing out, and it's not always writing out like things about the day. Sometimes it will just be like writing out how I feel or like how I want to feel, and working so that I can sit in the energy of how I want to move forward.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what's your favorite comfort meal? Yeah, I can talk. Comfort food of all times.
Favorite comfort food? Ooh.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to mind was pretzels.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
pretzels.
Yeah. You like salted ones or just normal ones? Like
Oh
sweet
yeah,
ones?
salted. Has to be salted.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
What's one thing you tell yourself very often?
I started telling myself because as I've been working on like my self-love stuff, I started telling myself that I'm beautiful every day, which seems conceited, but like I wanted to build up my self-love stuff. And that's yeah.
That's a good thing to do, especially in front of the mirror, like where you pep yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
yeah. So if you ever were to be any object or creature, real or fictional, what would you be and why?
Any object or creature.
Yeah.
I would probably
I mean, for me, it would be like a unicorn with wings and maybe two horns.
oh yeah. I don't know why. So initially I was thinking of something in Lord of the Rings because I love Lord of the Rings very
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
honestly, like the next thing that came to mind was an Ewok, and I
Oh
kind of
yeah.
stick with that.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be a thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's your biggest pet peeve?
Um people who My biggest pet peeve is people who try to force their stuff on you.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
not liking how they're not able to accept you for who you are, and therefore trying to get you to change it.
Yeah. So if this was the last day on Earth, what would you do and how would you spend it?
I would find somebody to have sex with.
Oh my God, yeah. I would do something similar, which is like ghost streaking. I'm like, we're gonna die tomorrow. Everybody gets to see me naked.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like, who's the hottest person here that wants to fuck me? That's probably not good. I don't know if I can swear on this.
That's fine. That's fine. So what's one thing you cannot live without?
My dog. My dog is something I can't live without.
Aw.
And I think that he's a senior now, and I'm not sure how much longer he'll be with me, but I just don't think I could ever not have a dog. Like
Yeah.
even if I lose him, I probably will have to get a dog soon after that because
Yeah.
it's just, yeah,
What
their
what breed
love
is
is
he?
so eternal.
What breed is he?
He's a Havanese.
Aw,
Yeah, he's so cute.
he is. Yeah.
Chewy.
He's made a few appearances on your stream. I do recall that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had two dogs, but one of my dogs, Little, he was also a Havanese. And he was on the earlier streams, like when I started.
Oh yeah.
He passed away last year.
Aw, I'm sorry.
Thank you. It was really hard because he had been with me for 16 years, but he lived a long life, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I love dogs. I would have to have a dog.
Oh yeah, same. I don't have one, but I really wanna like, if I ever move to Southern California or SoCal, I wanna get
Mhm.
like a Labrador or a Golden Retriever.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love golden retrievers. They're so special.
Yeah.
They're just so loving.
Yeah. In your opinion, what do you think is the worst invention ever?
The worst invention ever. Ugh. Capitalism.
I agree.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that comes up as well, but like,
Yeah.
there's good and bad in everything, right? But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the ability for so many people to take advantage of others is just needs to be changed.
Yeah.
So.
What's the worst video game you've ever seen or played?
Worst video game. I feel like that's a totally different question than like video games I just don't like because
Yeah.
I'm not really into like shooter games or anything.
Oh yeah.
But the worst video game ever made.
In your opinion, of course.
Well, I feel like I need to play more games. However, I would say, okay, this is a deep cut. It's like Barbie Beach Party or something from the early 2000s. And it is so cursed. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to do. It's a Barbie game, but like,
oh my god.
The imagery in it alone, one of the clips in it is from my old raid video where there's the Ken that they had. The budget for Ken was always zero. They never gave, like, the Barbie movie was legit in the fact that they don't care about Ken at Mattel. They just don't. And even it was a shock if they ever gave him a voiceover in a game because they just didn't care about Ken.
Yeah.
And the imagery of Ken, it was this like really horrible pixelated doll that was badly lit and it looked like a horror movie. And I was like, what is that?
Oh my god.
I was like, all the Barbies are lesbians. Nobody talk to Ken.
What? I mean, Ken can be a
Don't
lesbian.
talk to him.
Ken can be a lesbian.
Like, he is not okay.
Oh my god. That is one legit thing.
Highly recommend you look at the raid video if you want to see the clip because it's. I have one on my YouTube.
You can always send me the video, but there is one game I'm thinking of
God.
streaming. It's called Cinderella's Dollhouse. So
Ooh.
it's an old game that I always wanted to play. Not always wanted to play, but like I dabbled with as a kid. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing you spend a lot of money on besides gaming?
Ooh. I've been trying to be really frugal, so I'm trying to think of what I have been spending money on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I would say either. Okay, actually, the most honest answer of what I spend the most money on would be craft supplies.
Oh, wow.
I spend a lot of money on like buying stuff to make stuff.
Yeah.
But other like things I would spend money on. I mean, it just kind of depends. I try not to buy a lot of shoes, but I love shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And same with makeup.
Yeah. Is there like a specific shade of makeup that you like?
A specific shade?
Yeah, like a color?
No, I like all the colors.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a pink girl in general, but yeah.
So what's your all-time favorite song?
Ooh. Okay, the first song that came up was Dr. Dre's "What's the Difference."
Oh my god.
I grew up listening mostly to like rap and hip hop and R&B from my mom. That was like all she listened to when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I grew up, I started listening to pop music with like Spice Girls and Britney Spears and the boy bands and stuff. And then I didn't listen to rock music until like middle school.
Oh,
when
wow.
like Linkin Park and stuff came out.
Yeah.
So I hadn't even, the only rock music I'd probably heard before that was in movies and TV and stuff. So so I like a lot of music. I mostly listen to dubstep though currently.
Oh my god, it's my all-time love. Like I really love
Is it?
Yeah, I love like an Israeli DJ called Borgor. He worked with Miley Cyrus.
Oh,
I love his music so much. Like I try to be like innovational with my music as well, since I also make music and I make dubstep. So I try to take like inspiration of like 2013 Skrillex and Borgor and combine them.
Oh, that's fun. I wanted to learn how to make dubstep.
It's easy. It's just wubs and
yeah. I just need equipment for it, but that might be something I do on my spare time just to see if I can.
I mean, if you do have like a clip of you saying like out of context things or like whatever, like scream or like whatever sound you're saying, you can send it to me and I could remix it into a dubstep song, which is what I do for most streamers.
Really? Oh my god, I've actually really wanted to do that for a long time. That's why I wanted to teach myself to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll send you later like a few clips and songs. So one of my friends whom I mod for, she just randomly started singing boobs, 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 boobs. So I turned it into a song, and then she started singing ass inspector, iterate your asses, and I turned that into a song.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
So what's your all-time favorite movie this time?
All-time favorite movie? The Lord of the Rings series.
The series.
And The Hobbit. All of it.
Have you seen the TV series?
I actually haven't watched it yet. No. Oh. Thank you for reminding me though, because I forgot that it existed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I've not heard good things about it, but I mean, people are always hypercritical. So I mean, because I just watched the new Avatar live action series and I liked it. I mean, but I'm also not hypercritical.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, I was hypercritical of UA's wig, but
you mean
they really needed
Avatar or the anime Avatar?
The anime one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They just came out with a new live action series of it.
Oh, I did not know.
But yeah, on Netflix. It's good. I liked it. But I mean, I'm not hypercritical. I'm not like a huge Avatar fan. So I'm not like, oh, they did this wrong.
That's wrong.
However, now I kind of want to rewatch the animated series just to like see.
Yeah. If you weren't a gamer, And if you weren't on Twitch,
Mhm.
where would you be?
I'd probably be doing photography, but I mean, I've wanted to. I live in Northern California, so I live like in the Bay Area near San Francisco
Yeah.
vibes. And people have always been like, "Why are you here? Why aren't you in LA? Because you should be at LA. I don't understand why you're here." So I've at some point I would like to move there, but it's very expensive, and
Yeah.
just living in general right now is very expensive, and so I am working towards
Yeah.
my life goal is just to be able to make a living by creating. And if I can do that and be able to afford to live where I want to live, then I'm truly successful.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my goal.
Yeah. Can you tell us about one funny moment, whether off or on stream, that you can never forget?
I feel like we have a lot of funny moments on the stream. I especially love the funny moments when I'm playing games with my community, especially if we do stuff like Among Us or Goose Goose.
Fall Guys,
Yeah, but like in those ones where you have to like, where you can like really mess with each other. Like recently we did a Among Us stream, and me and one of the other people were killers, and we were gonna do a double kill, and one of us like I killed, and then the other person like kind of hesitated. or didn't realize that I was gonna kill this person. Like they didn't realize who was gonna kill who, and then the person ran to, because not realizing they could have just reported the body, just ran to the call to alert people, and by the time they got there, the other killer had killed them, so they couldn't speak.
Oh no!
On the call, and so they couldn't tell what happened, and it was the funniest shit. And I was like, because it was so like last minute, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that worked. We were just about to get so cooked, and it worked.
Yeah. So, what would you do if you had like $500,000?
Ooh, I would. Oh, actually, $500,000. I don't even know if that would pay for a house here. It wouldn't. It would pay for like a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
I'd probably buy a house. One of my dreams is to own a home, so I'd probably work towards that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's one thing you want to change about your life?
Just that I would be making a living creating, which is what I'm working towards doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
And it's weird in the current world that we live in, where like it's almost like in order to make money as an artist, you have to be a famous personality.
Yeah.
And I like have always wanted to be that, but I've been working a lot in therapy, and so my motivation for being famous is no longer like wanting to be loved and adored, but instead just wanting to use it to help others. Yeah. And to be able to support myself, but to help others and like share what I've learned and how to like love yourself and be authentically yourself, because I don't know about other. I think that a lot of people grew up with parents and family members that didn't necessarily encourage them to be themselves. They wanted them to be a specific way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people perpetuate that and want to standards, and especially if you're part of the LGBTQIA plus community, you know.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage people to be themselves, and I genuinely feel like teaching people to love themselves is one of the most important things we could do, because people who love themselves don't actively go out to try to cause people harm.
Yeah.
And
I can relate to that since I'm a
yeah,
part of that community as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So what is one big red flag you can't handle in a person?
If they're not open-minded is a big red flag for me.
Okay.
They're not like open to other people's perspectives or
Yeah.
views.
Yeah. So if your life was ever to either be a movie, a TV show, or a video game, what would you title it? Like, what would it be named and why?
Um,
Uh,
it would be called like Tragic Glamour, the journey to self love and woohoo or something like that.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
It'd be like a full of lessons to teach you how to love yourself, while
Yeah.
as you actively are like being a slut.
Oh my God.
even though I'm like personally not a slut, but I have a slutty mind.
Same. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. So, if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why, and how would you use it?
I feel like my superpower would be something that could immediately help people. Like maybe it's mood altering or something like that, where if I met people, you could like touch them and they would feel better about themselves and see their potential or something like that, something cool like that.
Yeah, I could see you doing that, like putting your powers into a crystal and then have people wear that.
Yeah,
Yeah, mine would
just something where like they could see like their true potential, because a lot of people get so wrapped up in like the stuff of the world, and it's like, no, if you stick with like your vision, you could create crazy cool stuff in your life.
Yeah, mine would be teleportation.
That would be cool. That would be I mean, there's so many places to go.
Yeah, but I don't think you should give everybody teleportation because it's gonna be abused. Like, you either have to learn it
Oh yeah,
or earn it.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So what's one quote you can't forget or have seen and you go by?
Crap, I have one. What is it? Oh yeah, the sky is not the limit, it's the goal.
Nice. Mine, I have my own personal one, which is I'm the hero of my own story. In yours, I'd probably die. Yeah.
Totally.
And I have another one that says, all heroes wear capes. Well, I told them I was the cape. Yeah. So these are the last questions in this segment.
Okay.
Who's your all-time favorite celebrity crush?
Hassan Piker. Or Pedro Pascal.
Ooh. If you had the chance to switch lives with one celebrity from today, who would you pick and why?
Probably Lady Gaga.
Ooh, I would see a huge fit in that. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Yeah,
I love her so much. She's amazing.
she is. So since the new year has been here for like 2 months now, what are some of your plans for 2024?
My plans are to like just create a lot of content on all social media, like TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. Stick to my streaming 3 times a week, but then adding like more content on other channels to hopefully drive people to Twitch, and just like sharing more of who I am and what kind of crazy stuff is in my head, and I have had like makeup looks in my head I haven't done yet. Like one of the ones they'll probably do first is I want to turn myself into a mushroom from Minecraft.
Oh my god.
Like the cow. I just have this whole vision for it with this dubstep song, and I'm just like so excited for it, and I feel like it could be really cool. Yeah. So I used to just have fun ideas and then just make them, and that's the flow that I want to get back into this year. Yeah. Is just go have a fun idea and make it. I'm also working on a YouTube series about boy bands. Called actually, what is the series called? Well, the band is called Five Guys, which is also like a burger place in America. So I was like, it's like they're gonna be competing. Yeah. There's, I don't know, and I'm kind of start it with like, I want it to have the tone originally, or at least for the intro, of like Behind the Music, VH1 style, and then go into like the gameplay of it and have it be just ridiculous.
Yeah, I could help you with the music if you ever need.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But also, I did imagine dubstep when you said dubstep cow, like it like jumping off and on the ledge, like to dubstep music, and then looking at you. That was a funny thing.
Yeah, I think you'll love it when I create it. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. So, using just one or two words, how would you describe 2023?
Growth and glow up.
Mine would be fuck off. Yeah.
It was rough, but every year is rough, you know, and as long as I keep working towards progress, and I had some really big breakthroughs last year, mentally and personally, and so it helped a lot, and I really think that this year is going to be like a huge upward trajectory compared to last year.
Yeah. So what was the event that impacted your life in 2023, whether good or bad?
Really, like the most impactful thing wasn't necessarily like an event, but I had just this realization of all the trauma that I had been holding on to was stuff that I didn't really have to hold on to anymore, and then I could let it go. Yeah. And that was such a big moment, because I was able to really detach from a lot of stuff that I didn't realize I was using to hold myself back.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Yeah. Now we're gonna go into a mini game segment before we get intense in the mental health part. It's a mini game. I usually have like a mini game called play, uninstall, or delete. But since you don't like shooters, because it has a lot of shooter games, I created a new one. It's kind of like this or that. So it's in two parts. First part is objects or food, and the second part is celebrities. In this mini game, I will name stuff each time. You have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
So part one is soda or sparkling water?
Soda.
Normal milk or chocolate milk?
Normal milk.
Iced tea lemon or iced tea peach?
Iced tea lemon.
Lipstick or mascara?
Mascara.
Personal vehicle or public transport?
Personal vehicle, but I feel kind of bad about that one.
TV series or movie?
Movie.
Walmart or Target?
Target.
Coffee or hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate.
Okay, so now it's part two. Uh, we have Brad Pitt or Robert De Niro,
Brad Pitt.
Leo DiCaprio or Bradley Cooper.
Oh, that's a hard one. Leo. I would go Leo DiCaprio.
Okay, Angelina Jolie or Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
My favorite actress of all time. Kelly Clarkson or Ellen DeGeneres.
Kelly Clarkson.
My favorite singer of all time. My idol, my everything.
She's incredible. Kelly Clarkson is incredible.
I love. I really aim towards meeting her one day.
My best friend is like a huge fan of hers, so I've actually seen her live quite a few times.
I would like.
She's incredible.
Probably collapse and like fall apart if I ever see her, but I wanna like meet her.
You gotta, definitely.
Not only live, like talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta.
So Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber?
Neither. Throw them both away.
Music-wise, I prefer Justin Timberlake lately because of like what I heard from his latest album, and I'm not a fan of hip hop. So.
Well, I'm Team Britney, so Justin Timberlake can
go eat a bell pepper.
dick.
Eat a bell pepper. Yeah. I'm Team Britney as well, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I did like his music, but it's really unfortunate the person that he is.
Yeah.
So
speaking of Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera?
Both. I can't choose. I like both.
Okay. So The Weeknd or Drake? Both Canadians. Both Canadian.
Okay, that one's a little hard. I guess music-wise, I'd probably listen to more Drake, but I kind of think The Weeknd's better, so I'm gonna go with The Weeknd.
Okay, so Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, that one's also hard. These are good. You're really good at this. I'm gonna go with Ryan Gosling though.
I've been doing it since 2020, so. Johnny Depp or Tom Cruise?
Johnny Depp. Tom Cruise is a Scientologist, and I can't do that.
So last one is Ben Affleck or Will Smith?
Okay, I don't know. I could go either way. I kind of like that Ben Affleck looks so sad all the time. But Will Smith is an icon.
Yeah.
So we'll go Will Smith.
Okay, so Jennifer Lopez or Shakira?
Shakira.
Of course, she's also partly Lebanese like me.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Now we're going to go into the last segment, which is mental health. In this segment, we will be talking about mental health and some sensitive subjects. As I say in every episode, regardless of the subject being heavy or not, I apologize in advance. There might be some triggering terms in some episodes that can be used. So please be well aware as you listen, and feel free to either skip or dip out of the segment if you feel uncomfortable about some subjects in some episodes. Mental health is not an easy subject to talk about, neither are life experience. Today we're going to talk about self-love and behavior. You specifically said that you advocate for people to be gentle with themselves and lean towards the avenue of loving themselves into the person they want to be, which takes up a lot of unlearning shame and self-destructive behavior. This is quite an interesting topic to talk about. This segment is yours. Can you tell me a little bit about how you approach this subject and what you exactly tell people?
I know that for myself, I feel like I was brought up to believe that I had to kind of force myself to be a specific way in order to fit into society, to force myself to fit into looking a certain way, to being a certain way, to having certain jobs or acting a certain way in different places. And a lot of that, some of it is like basic etiquette type stuff, but for the most part, it's just wanting you to fit into what other people want you to be. And as you grow up, there's like, I'm in my mid 30s, and as you grow up, you realize that there really are no rules. And the people who, like, I know that I thought that by this time I would have my stuff together more and feel really like an adult who knew exactly what I was doing and had a clear path. And I think the reason that I thought that was because the generation, like my parents' generation, they were brought up to be like, okay, we were told like the formula, my generation at least was, which is, you grow up, you go to school, you get if you can, you go to college and get a degree, you go to work, you get married, you get a house, you have kids, and like that's your life, and that's it. And for a lot of us, none of that, or most of that, didn't play out that way because of societal issues with the economy and not being able to afford housing, not getting paid enough from jobs, like the millennial generation, at least in America, and it seems to be other places as well, is just not getting paid enough to be able to afford living. And our generation can't afford to do, like, at my age, when my mom was my age, she had me and she had her own home. And like, I couldn't imagine having that, because I just, and there's just so many different aspects of what's going on in society right now, including like more and more people are working on themselves, and the people who aren't working on themselves are like, hey, why aren't you wanting to date me? And it's like, well, because you're really stuck in this mentality that I have to be, like if I were to date men, there's a lot of men who have a very traditionalist idea of wanting you to be like a housewife, but also somehow provide money even though you don't work. And like, all just so much incel mentalities, very misogynist mentalities. And it makes it so that it's like, well, I'd rather be alone than deal with that. And really, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch history play out, how this generation moves through that stuff. But as we're all doing this, I had to unlearn how, like, I grew up learning to basically attack myself into doing the things to conform to how I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what I'm learning is, even if I do that, because I've been here I'm 34, I've been here for this long, and when I tried to conform, I wasn't happy. So if doing the things I love to do makes me happy, regardless of what other people think of it, then what I need to do is detach from the me needing other people's approval in order to do what I want to do. I need to detach from how other people feel of it or how other people see it, because they're all stuck in the mentality that I grew up in, and they don't want to think differently. And I want to focus on a different path. And I'm a person who is overweight as well. I'm actually getting weight loss surgery in a couple weeks. And for me, it's part of my healing to get it, because I spent so many years eating as a form of coping.
Comfort,
yeah, comfort. And so and it's once for people who have not had to lose weight, they don't really realize that it's very hard to do. Like, it's not,
It is.
like, it seems straightforward, but you still have to eat every day. You know, you can't like starve yourself because it's not healthy for your body. And then when you do that, you end up really messing up your metabolism. And for a long time, I've just had a really hard time losing weight. And then there's also the fact that society expects you to be a specific weight and look a specific way.
Yeah, I relate to that because I struggle with that every single day of my life.
Yeah. And people are so mean about it too. Like, when I post, I try to post because I'm confident in my body. Like, I know what I look like, and I am I own it. And it's taken a while to get here. It takes a lot of self-acceptance to get to a point where I can look at myself and be like, this is what I look like. And even though like I'll see flaws and stuff and I'll still pick it apart, I just have to be kind to myself, and I have to stop myself from picking myself apart, because it's a process to like retrain your brain to not automatically degrade yourself. But
Yeah.
it's necessary, because what I've learned is that, and this is why I say like self-love and loving yourself and into being the person you want to be is so important, because you can't shame yourself into doing it. I tried that for years. It doesn't work. Like, just being like shaming myself into not eating because I want to look a certain way. You have to look at the motivation behind what you want. And I never really wanted to be skinny. I just wanted to be accepted, you know? And what I realized, especially in all the years of photography that I did, was that no matter what size somebody was, when they came to get photographed from me, everybody has problems with themselves. Even the skinniest people would pull out just like a tiny bit of skin from their stomach and be like, I really need to get rid of this. And it's like, what do you think of me if you think so badly of that tiny little piece of you?
Yeah.
You know?
So
and I'm like
Glam, so I've had this topic open with my best friend. He is not fat,
Yeah.
so he's like fit. So he's like, oh my god, I'm always fat, I want to lose weight. I'm like, I slap him and I'm like, you're not fat. What do you call me then? Like post 2022, like pre 2022. Sorry, like when I was like almost 300 pounds. So
Yeah.
like don't
And
fat shame yourself. Like
yeah.
you're beautiful, like you as you are.
And that's the whole thing too. And what's interesting is even it's just changing a lot of how we view this stuff, because really we're just people in bodies. And so many people think that you have to look a certain way. And that's reinforced by the fact that sometimes being fat is unhealthy, but not always. Like, I don't have health issues because of my weight. I started to get that because I was not taking care of myself and I had no motivation. So I started to get pre-diabetes and I was like, oh no. But like, that's super common, and it doesn't mean I don't have diabetes, but it was like, if you keep going this way, you're gonna get it. And I was like, okay, I need to start taking care of my health. But just because you're fat or like chubby, like a lot of people who people consider to be fat, especially in other countries, because in our country, well, even in our country, there's so much, like, if you're like 200 pounds, you're considered fat. And for me, like, I look really thin at 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like, and a lot of people will be like, oh, but you're so pretty though. And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty whether I'm fat or not. Like, I am pretty no matter what. It really has nothing to do with weight, you know? And weight, but people feel comfortable commenting on your weight because they equate it to like the health stuff. And so it's like, but I think it's just a matter of unlearning stuff as a society, and moving differently with it. And even when I'm gonna be losing weight, and I'm sure people are gonna comment on it, and even when they do, I'm gonna be like, I looked good before too, and it's just, I don't want, anyway, I couldn't really lose the weight until I started to learn to love myself and accept myself for who I was. And now that I practice being more kind to myself, I find that I'm not as anxious. I find that I focus more on like what I want to do with my day, as opposed to trying to fit in, or being overburdened by so many different people's opinions, and really what we need to get to is the baseline of who are you as a person and what do you really want, because that's really what's important. And a lot of people are just so consumed. I mean, I don't know about everybody, but like I became I was a people pleaser because of how I grew up, and I think a lot of people relate to that. And it's just getting to the baseline of like, who am I, and how can I accept myself for who I am, and learn to love myself and really embrace that, because that's when you'll find like the person you want to spend your life with, because you'll attract people who are most aligned with you as you are as a person, and not like who you're trying to be so that you can attract a good partner or something. And like that's how you find the career paths and the friends and all the things that we tend to want, the connections and all of that is stuff that aligns with you when you can learn to love and accept yourself. And so that's why that's something that I've learned and really like honed in on over the past year, and that's why it's important, I think, to dive into and share with people, because it's not the message you usually hear.
It is kind of difficult sometimes to have like people judging you. I've been through that a lot. Even I live with my dad, who is like a carbon copy, like literally a carbon copy of Homer Simpson. So I do feel that, and I don't want to go to that tendencies. I got to a part where like my heart started like beating unwell. So I found out that there's like all this weight was just pushing on my heart. So I had to do something about it. So
yeah. But and sometimes health is absolutely a factor, but there's also a lot of people who are just like chubby or whatever, and I don't think that people should be treated differently because of how they look, just in general.
Exactly.
We have to, and that's why like I say that if you learn to love yourself, you don't feel a need to judge or comment about other people as much, because you're not judging yourself as much. So, and if you're not judging yourself, then you're not as anxious about like what other people are thinking of you. When really like a lot of times we're just coming up with narratives of how like anxiously like what people might think of us, and what we're doing is we're bullying ourselves, and nobody even did anything. We didn't need to.
100%. Yeah.
But like you never see happy people go online and make mean comments towards people on TikTok or something,
Yeah.
You never see happy people go out there and try to actively attack other people.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to work towards a society where the people who have the mentality of wanting to attack others should be a mentality that should be a red flag. Like 100%. Hey, that's not, if you shouldn't be the leader of a country if your goal is to go attack people,
100%.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to add, Glam, before we end?
Um, I don't think I think I got it all.
Okay. So
Check out my socials.
yeah, please, guys, please,
Yeah.
please, like check out TragicGlamourxo on Twitch. Check her out on her socials. The name of the episode, which is her Twitch handle. She's one amazing person. She's like lovely, sweet. You will have like a face ache because of how much you're gonna laugh and smile in her streams. It's really uncanny. Like, I go into her streams sometimes, I'm like, oh my god, I've had a shit day. Or like, I'm starting my day at work, then I have her open in the background and I hear random chaos. I'm like, where the fuck is this sound coming from? Then I realize I have Tragic Glamour coming, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so hilarious. And there would be a morning show. I'm like directing a morning show or something, and I would, and then like the host would look at me with those like lowercase o, and then capital O, like this face. She was like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, nothing. Hi,
Nothing.
hi. Yeah, no, like those are the funny moments that people thrive for. It's not how you
Yeah.
look, it's what you do that matters. So please
Yeah.
be kind to yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And Glam, any last words before I like end the episode?
You matter, and no one will love you as much as you love you. Like, you can't. So the best thing you can focus on is learning to love yourself.
100%. 100%.
People will only ever meet you at the depth of which they've met themselves. So if people don't get you, just understand that it's not about you. And if people have issues, usually it's their own thing.
Yeah.
And just focus on you, because when you fill your cup, it overflows into other people and you end up helping other people. And
Yeah.
really, that's what being a community is all about.
Yeah, and not everybody can drink the water that's overflowing, you know? Like, some people can't handle the energy. I've dealt with this, so but thank you so much for the time. Thank you everybody for listening. Glam, thank you for being such an amazing person, such an amazing let's say friend, such an amazing content creator, such an amazing simmer.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you more. And do stay tuned for the next episode, guys. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you around. Bye.